The gym can be intimidating, but so can the cardio deck. If you're not really sure what you should be doing here to hit your goals, watch this video.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Coach Tonya with Critical Bench, and welcome. Today's video is all about the cardio deck. I'm calling it Cardio Deck 101. We're going to talk about each of these pieces of equipment, how you're using it, and are you actually using it in a way that's going to help you hit your goals. Before I get into each of these pieces of equipment though, if you're someone that likes a little bit of cardio, a little bit of strength training, you prefer the convenience of working out at home, you're not really big into weights and machines, why don't you check out that pinned comment below for the full body bar series. This is a series of workouts. It's strength training, it's resistance training, it's cardio, it's everything all in one series of workouts that you can do conveniently right at home. So check that out. Okay, so when we talk about the cardio deck, a lot of times in most gyms, maybe not all, but in most gyms when you walk in, the first thing you're going to see is a cardio deck. In most commercial gyms, it's going to be a lot bigger than this one, but this is our cardio deck. So it's not uncommon to walk in and see the cardio deck full of people on there walking, doing the ellipticals, having conversations with the person beside them. Now the thing about cardio machines is that they're a great way to get in a cardio workout in a safe environment. What I mean by that is when you're on a treadmill or you're on the bike, you're not, you have a predictable surface, okay? It's not like being out hiking in the woods, in the forest. There's rocks and roots and stumps and holes and all kinds of things that's challenging your balance and proprioception. So if you have any of those issues, cardio deck machines are great. They're also a time factor thing because the great thing about cardio decks is that a lot of them are pre-programmed. So you really don't have to put a whole lot of thought into it. You don't necessarily have to have your phone set on a timer so you can, do your HIIT. So they do serve a great purpose. Personally, I don't like cardio at all. I would rather be doing something, but I do utilize the cardio deck for a specific purpose. So if you're walking in and you're just getting on it because you think it's what you should do, you're probably not getting the maximum benefit out of it. So are you trying to burn fat? Is it simply a warm-up or a cool-down for you? Is it part of your full body training day? So there's ways to use these machines to better impact what you're trying to get out of your training sessions. So let me talk about the treadmill. So treadmills are pretty standard. You've got a platform, you've got handles. A lot of them have safety keys. So there's no, you might see these YouTube videos, people go flying off their treadmills and into the wall. Shouldn't happen to you, all right? When it comes to the treadmill, most of them are gonna be pre-programmed. So you can do hill climbs, you can do long distance, you can go for speed, you can go for calories burned, and they're all preset in the machine. So if you do know, if you're trying to burn excess amount of calories, if that's your goal for like a 15 or 20 minute session, if you're wanting to do some HIIT, you can definitely do that on this machine. It's pre-programmed in there. If you're doing distance, if it's part of, if you're training for a big event and you're wanting to calculate time and figure out your distance, this is a great way to do that and measure it. The other thing with the treadmill is it's easy. It doesn't require you don't have to be in perfect fitness to get on the treadmill and just start walking. So if you're someone new to fitness, if you have any health issues, if you have any limiting factors that make it so that when you walk into a gym you find it a little intimidating and you're not sure where to start, get on one of these, but don't just get on there and walk forever. Set a time. If you're wanting to warm up, you want to keep it at about 3 miles maximum, and you only really need to be on there enough. We just want to raise our core body temperature by like 1.72 degrees, and that only requires usually about 6-7 minutes. But if you want to warm up a little longer, you want to keep it, well, clearly within range of what your time limit is for your workout, but there's really no need to be on here warming up for a half an hour. Same thing when it comes to your cool down. Your cool down is all about lowering your heart rate. And that really, again, at a maximum speed of 3 miles an hour, which you can set on the machine for just, 5 minutes, is going to be enough to cool you down. So that's a little bit about the treadmill. So the arc trainer or the elliptical is actually, in my opinion, it's one of the more popular ones. It's a nice smooth ride. Okay, to me, it's a hybrid between cross-country skiing and walking. At least this one is. The ellipticals have a lot of features in them as far as programs. So again, you can do what does this one have? I actually haven't been on this one a whole lot. So hills, intervals. They even have a program here for weight loss. So what I would say is if you want to lose weight, you cannot just get on the elliptical and use it for a few minutes, half an hour, even 3 times a week, and that's going to be all it requires for weight loss. There's a lot of other factors and elements that come into a complete and successful weight loss program. This can be a part of it. So you've got all kinds of programs here, cardio, intervals. Again, I said the weight loss. I have one on here for strength. So depending on what program you choose, it's going to have a preset time. It's going to have a preset intensity. So how difficult it is, how much harder you have to work to move those, I'll call them pedals, to get through the workout. Again, if you're using this strictly as a warm-up and a cool-down, you don't need to be on it for a half an hour. You actually don't even need to be on it for 15 minutes. Some people tend to spend too much time in their warm-up than they really need to. You only need to raise your, I said it again, but I'll repeat it. You only need to raise your body temperature about 2 degrees to be warm enough to get started into your workout. The next machine that we have here in our cardio deck is the rowing machine. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of cardio machines because I'd rather be outside doing something. But when I have to use a cardio deck machine, this is my preferred favorite for a couple reasons. It is great for cardio, but it also, in my opinion, is great for strength as well because you really get quite a workout. And if you ever sat on one of these and used them, you know exactly what I mean. It can look easy watching somebody else, then you get on it yourself and you start pulling on these handles here, and it's pretty tough. Now, of course, you can set that to easier levels. So if you're new to the rowing machine, I would suggest that to get used to what it feels like. Then start selecting what programs you want. Now, ours doesn't have a whole bunch of preset programs. It has a few, but I actually use this to do my HIIT. So I like to get on it. I set the timer because it does have a timer. I'll set the timer for like a minute or a minute and 20, and I go really, really hard, like stupid, ridiculous hard, crazy woman on the rowing machine hard for a minute, minute and 20, and then I'll take like a 30 to 40 second break, and I'll do that for about 8 or 9 cycles, and then my cardio element of my training is done. It's done quickly, but I'm done because it is a very, very tough workout. But of all the machines, it is my favorite. If you haven't tried it, I challenge you to get on one and, give it a couple minutes and see what you think and how much you enjoy it. And the final machine in our cardio deck is the wind bike. Now, to be honest with you, when I started working at Critical Bench, this is the first time I actually ever got to use this style of a stationary bike. I typically spent more time using the spin bikes. But this one's tough because not only are you using your legs to cycle, but you're using your arms. And once again, depending on the program or the setting that you choose, you can make this quite tough. So you're not only just getting cardio, but you're gonna get some strength in there as well. This is actually probably my second favorite next to the rowing machine. And if I'm gonna be using this, I would rather be out biking. I have a bike, I love to bike. I live in Florida, so most of the year the weather is amazing. I can be out on my bike anytime. But if I have to be inside or I'm really pressed for time and I need to get some cardio in, this is another machine that I would choose to do my HIIT. Once again, I'm going to set my phone timer, or actually there's a timer on this one, so I'll set the timer for a minute and 20, go super, super, super hard. If you saw me, you thought that I was really angry about something, but go really hard for that minute and 20, take a 40-second, just back it off a little bit before hitting that same cycle again and doing that again for about 8 or 9, and then I'm done. So if you probably have seen spin bikes at your gym. They're probably in a separate room because spin classes are so popular, but you can clearly go in there and hop on a spin bike. There are other types and styles of bicycles in gyms, and a lot of that's going to have to do with your comfort level, as well as, do you have any injuries? How is your balance? Because for some people, sitting on the bike and especially operating feet and hands might not be optimal for them right off the bat. They might be better in one of the seated styles, and they call it recumbent bicycles. So there's different options, there's different styles. If a bike is something that you really tend to kind of lean towards because you prefer it, test them out, try them out, find the one that you like, play with the settings, and make sure you're choosing a setting that's working with your training and what your goals are. So are they fat loss, or you're actually into strength training, so it's your warm up and your cool down. But make sure you're just not getting on it and just cycling stationary for minutes and minutes and minutes on end with no end goal, because that's really not going to get you anywhere. Okay, so there you have it. Very brief Cardio Deck 101, a little blurb on each of the machines, particularly the ones that we have in our gym, but you're going to find very similar types of machines in your gym. Now, if there's something there that's very different than what I've talked about, because depending on the gym you go to, if it's a really big, very popular gym, they might have some pretty fancy, newer styles of cardio equipment. There are trainers on staff, and they'll be more than happy to go through the machine with you, show you how to use it, how to set it, so that you can actually get the best benefit from using that machine. All this being said, getting on a cardio machine is not a bad thing, and there really is no right or wrong. The only point I really wanted to make with the video was just don't get on it and walk or bike or row with no end goal. You really need to have a definitive goal. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to lose body fat? Are you trying to improve your cardiovascular fitness level? Is it part of your strength training days as your warm-up or your cool down? Are you someone that is rehabilitating from an injury, or do you have some kind of health issue that limits what you can do with free weights and machines, and this is the best option for you to stay fit and healthy? So as long as you know where you're starting from, where you want to get to, you can better choose a machine and choose the program that best helps you meet those goals, and that's what we want for you to live your best, healthiest, most optimal way of living. I'm Coach Tonya with Critical Bench. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, check that pinned comment out below for the full body bar workout series, another great full set of exercise programs that you can do. Very limited equipment required. You can do it right at home, and for those of you that prefer the convenience of working at home, it's got some great strength and cardio. It's kind of everything that you need. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you like it. I'm Coach Tonya with Critical Bench. Have a great day.